What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. The book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. This is a video entitled Tables Turning on America's Talking Points. I think we're at the beginning of this. So this is just a hypothetical thing. A lot of the talking points that are used for my community from other communities, y'all are all on the verge of seeing if you're going to actually live that when it's your community. What I mean by that is this. We talk about poverty and creating violence and all this, right? Because the country's in debt and because people are getting laid off, and it's no reason to be angry, it's no reason to be violent, there's no reason for you to do this, that, and the third. It seems to me that all these other groups are getting more and more violent, more and more demonstrative, going on picking fights. The criminal element is just rising just for no reason. And we're talking about demographics and communities who have always had economic, educational, and employment advantages. So now, all of a sudden, society is turning and these people are losing it. So the talking points are going to remain the same, right? I mean, I doubt it, but I'm just saying. But you can see this, you know. This is what people talk about with the heroin epidemic. You know, you don't want socialism. You want personal responsibility. But looks to me like y'all want socialism. You want government to help and government programs, government to fix this. And you want, you know, funding and this type of help and that type of help. But the problem of that is, what happened to personal responsibility? You know, nobody made you, you know, just because these drugs are brought into the country, that didn't mean you had to take them. That didn't mean you had to get high off of them. That didn't mean you had to be addicted to them. That didn't mean you had to become criminals after them. That didn't mean you have to go out here killing people because you're on this stuff, right? So it's going to get interesting because, you know, we're about to see this change. I saw a BGS video earlier with the rise in kids going into foster care because their parents are on drugs or dealing with drugs. When those kids come out, you know, they're going to be little savages, right? They're going to be criminals, right? They're going to be super predators, right? And it's going to be their family's fault, the lack of fathers in the home and dysfunctional mothers and this, that, and the third, right? It's gonna be their ghetto mentality. They're just inherently like that, right? These people are gonna need to be locked away and have the key thrown away. They don't need rehabilitation. What they need is good stern discipline, and they need harsh sentencing, right? This is the part of the hypocrisy, because it's coming. It's coming. The way that it's going right now, as far as, you know, we've outsourced all of our work. It's going to be their fault that that their educations left them with really little to no skills in trades, and their school systems left them with very little skills. But they went to college to get degrees, and now they're stuck because they can't find jobs. And the ways that they make money is because if it's in a bad way, it's because they lack morality, right? They're innately evil people, right? And when you come from these environments and you look like this and that and the third, you know, you come from a heroin background, you're gonna be intimidated, right? You're gonna be looked at as more criminalized, right? You're gonna be criminalized in the school because you come from a broken home. That's what we're doing, right? It's going. We're not gonna reverse this. You know, how can I say this? When these children have issues with society, as they're adults and young adults, are we gonna tell them like, look, you know, you're being unpatriotic by stating your opinion about society. You know, this is you're being un-American by saying America is at fault for the decisions that were made in your family, in your situation. You know, you need to pick yourself up by the bootstraps. That's what we're gonna say, right? We're gonna say these families, it's their faults that these kids came out bad, and it's not a America problem, right? Just gotta, you know, we're gonna say it's because they have low IQs. You know, they're inherently dumb. You know, because of their situation. We're gonna judge a book by its cover, aren't we? Right? Because the reason I'm saying this is because the one thing I don't like about American culture is the narrative changes when it's convenient for you. You know, when you see somebody as an enemy, that's your narrative. But when that narrative, when that same narrative approaches you, all of a sudden it's wrong, and it's not wrong. No. You know, the same thing that make you laugh, make you cry. There ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun, because everything that was put based on my community. You know, what about Chicago? Oh, what about West Virginia? What about Ohio? You know, all these places where these, you know, meth addicts and heroin addicts are dying left and right. What's wrong with these people? Because to be perfectly honest, all of these people, in some ways, you could say, come from a more privileged background, at least racially, if not economically. So they have no reason to be dabbling in these lifestyles. They have no reason to be dying at these rates. They have no reason to be getting high and overdoses and feeling like it's the end of the world, because they haven't been oppressed. They haven't been targeted. They haven't been marginalized. All they might have been is unemployed for a little bit of time. And that shouldn't be a reason. And you can't say, oh, well, because these people were unemployed and, you know, they were accustomed to living a certain lifestyle way, they can't provide for their families, so they lost it. No. That's not a good argument, because, you know, you got to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and have morality even if you're struggling. You know, that's not America's problem. You know, and the reason I'm making this thing partially is also because I've gotten videos. I've gotten comments in the past, and I've talked to people on Hangouts at times who weren't black, who could see that, you know, the problems that my community have are about to hit their community, or have hit their community, and they're ignoring it, but they can see it, and they're like, well, aren't you gonna walk us through this? And I was like, no, absolutely not. No. You don't get to demonize me and vilify me and my community, and turn around when you're doing the very same thing, ask for my help to get out of the situation that you created. Absolutely not. No. You know, I just want the talking points to be the same. We know they're not the same, but, you know, that's why I said this is a hypothetical in the beginning. It's like, you know, we know that they're going to switch this whole thing, try to say something else. And I've said this previously, that the more they keep moving the goalpost, the worse it's going to get. Because if you keep moving the goalpost, you keep enabling the dysfunction to continue, and this dysfunction is gonna multiply exponentially, because nothing is gonna be looked at as bad. So that's just my opinion, hypothetically speaking, and we out.